This is Mr. Cross, Ikichi Cross's dad. You want to say hi to the camera?
Hello, everyone.
Okay. So, what do you think is the most destructive natural disaster in U.S. history?
The most destructive natural disaster in U.S. history. There have been quite a few lately. Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina, just to name a few.
But what do you think is the most destructive?
I guess, well, the most destructive or most eye-opening was probably Hurricane Katrina.
Okay, so that's a guess.
Yeah, to my, it's of course whatever is the most recent one tends to be, the one that stands out in your mind most of all. Like they just had the mudslide in Washington, and that was pretty. It was like a mile and a half wide mudslide. So, but I guess given the numbers of lives lost and the overall poor response to the disaster, it'd be Hurricane Katrina.
Okay. So I guess you're really informed about it. You want to tell us all that you know about it?
My level of information on Hurricane Katrina, I was not, personally affected by it, not being from the area, and not knowing anyone personally affected by it. But the publicizing of it definitely called attention to the amount of neglect that had existed amongst people that were poor, and the failure to respond to the emergency, especially given all that was known beforehand. They knew very well that it was a disaster, going to be a very major disaster taking place, but they really didn't have a escape plan, and the overall response just demonstrated a great deal of neglect, which many people living in that area had already suffered from.
Okay. How much do you think the damages cost?
No, it's well into the billions.
I want to estimate. Just give me one number. What do you think it is?
I say probably a safe estimate might be like 50 to 67 billion dollars in damage.
Okay, well, we have the number, and it's actually 96 billion. It's a lot.
I was in the billions.
Do you know? Not do you know? How many square feet do you think it covered? Like, how much square feet do you think the debris and the damages could cover?
However big New Orleans is, and then some. It went along the coast of. I know Mississippi was hit hard as well by it all. So you covered a good 3 states at least. I think Alabama was affected by it, as well as Louisiana and Mississippi. So that's a considerable amount of real estate. I wouldn't have the figures out.
If you wanted to guess the square mileage.
Square mileage. I guess that might be in the neighborhood of 1,000 square miles or so.
93,000.
93,000.
93,000.
Wow. Okay, 93,000 square miles. Okay.
All right. And final question: how many people do you think were displaced because of it?
How many people were displaced? I'd say I'd say between 50 to 80,000 people displaced.
You're right. 77,000 is about.
Okay.
Okay. Good job. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.